Antiguans reject the Caribbean Court of Justice as their final appeal court. And in sport, the West Indies T20 captain searches for the silver lining following his side's defeat in the series against India. I'm Ricardo Robertson. This is Caribbean in 10 for Wednesday, November 7th. I'll be back with the details after the break. Citizens of Antigua and Barbuda voted in yesterday's referendum against replacing London's Privy Council with the Caribbean Court of Justice, the CCJ, as the island's final court. Now, preliminary figures released by the Antigua and Barbuda Electoral Commission show that of the 17,743 votes counted in the no vote secured 9,234, while 8,509 people voted yes. Prime Minister Gaston Browne expressed utmost disappointment at the failure of his administration to get voters to support the Trinidad-based CCJ.
We knew that getting 67% of the votes was an extremely daunting task, practically unachievable without the support of the main opposition party. The support of the opposition was very important to mitigate against the natural inclination of electors to vote no in a referendum. And this is a point that I raised during the initial consultation at the Multipurpose Center.
Meanwhile, Grenada Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell says he's also disappointed at the failure of the referendum in his country.
People have voted based on what they wish to see. So, as a serious Democrat, it's been accepted. I'm not happy with it, but I've certainly accepted it. And that's always been my position when results of any election is given. So I'm disappointed, but I'm certainly in total acceptance of the results.
It was the second time in a two-year period that Grenadians voted against the CCJ move. Preliminary figures released by the Parliamentary Elections Office show that the no vote secured 12,133 as compared to 9,846 for those supporting the CCJ that was established in 2001. Supervisor of Elections Alex Phillips said that 22,098 or 28% of registered voters participated in the referendum. Of that number, there were 119 rejected ballots, 9,846 for the approval, and 12,133 voted against the approval. Now, in terms of percentage, he explained that 45.05% for the change and 54.39% against the change. Mitchell said he would not, as Prime Minister, be initiating a third referendum on the CCJ.
Before, this morning, that if this thing does not work, then the opposition doesn't have anything to celebrate. If anything, they may have a lot of questions to answer. That is my own personal position. And don't forget, history will also record who took what position when something absolutely crucial to the life of the people of our country was in fact initiated, and who did what. I am very clear in my conscience that I did the right thing, that I firmly believe that the CCJ is in fact the court that should be dealing with our final judicial system in the region, and I have no doubt that history will prove me right.
Meanwhile, CCJ President Justice Adrian Saunders says despite the rejection of the court as a final appeals court, it will continue ongoing initiatives with justice sector bodies in both countries. Now, in a statement following the results of the referenda, he said while the news is not what the court had hoped for, it respects the people of both nations and their decision. Justice Saunders did see a positive coming out of the exercise, the sustained public education in both countries and the intensified conversation about the CCJ. He said that as the court begins to implement its strategies or strategic plan for 2019 to 2023, which includes a renewed focus on public education, it will take advantage of the increased audience and the interest that has been piqued to provide more information about the work of the court. And police in Trinidad and Tobago have detained 11 foreigners after a viral video showed people entering the country illegally. The people in custody are from 3 different countries and were all found at a hotel in the area. TV6's Fane Richards tells us more.
A statement from the TTPS says the video prompted police to search a hotel in Erin. There they discovered 7 men and 4 women who had entered the country illegally. Immigration officers now have the group in custody, among them 8 Venezuelans, 2 Syrians and 1 Guyanese. The owner of the hotel is also being questioned. In a statement sent to TV6 via WhatsApp, National Security Minister Stuart Young said, quote, "The video is a disturbing example of what is taking place." He says he has asked Cabinet to approve strategies to tackle the porous border problem. Seaside communities in South Trinidad, like Losiro, are within touching distance of Venezuela. Political and economic turmoil have driven Venezuelan migrants to enter TNT through legal and illegal ports.
And stay with us, your Midday Sport is next.
18 rock bass later telling me this place is loaded with rock bass.
Well, I can assure you, rock bass are not on today's menu. However, I wouldn't mind a bag of Reese's Pieces right about now. Madfish, phone home.
A small guy. A pickerel, awesome. Just what I've always wanted for Christmas.
Now, back in, I think it was September, this case goes back away, September of 1994. She
Right.
was on her way to church.
That's correct. And I need to mention, Steve, you know, she was a brilliant girl. Straight A's in school and still is a brilliant girl. That's one important aspect of Reggie.
And she was in this church bus. And there it was her and her 2 sisters.
Correct?
West Indies T20 captain Carlos Brathwaite yesterday tried desperately to search for the positives after his side crashed to a 71-run defeat to India in the second T20 International to record their 4th straight series defeat within the last 12 months. Now, India had piled up a challenging 195 for 2 off their 20 overs behind captain Rohit Sharma's superb unbeaten 111, and West Indies bungled out their runs chase to end on 124 for 9. Brathwaite said, quote, "It was a Jekyll and Hyde performance. Obviously, the last game we bowled and fielded very well indeed. And today, I don't think we have fielded as well as we wanted to." That's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Good afternoon.